PsychicMyst Paranormal Network.
Hi, this is Shar with PsychicMyst Paranormal Network. So today I want to share a true paranormal story with you about a young woman who is now a ghost, and she cannot rest in peace because she's still haunted and kept hostage by her own demons. So the ghost in question is a young woman who took her own life by means of a drug overdose. She thought that the overdose would be the answer, but instead it was really just the beginning of more problems. When people are burdened by life issues and they feel that they can't handle things, they become very sad and depressed, and even can suffer from major anxiety and manic depression. And these negative emotions spiral out of control, and they actually attract stronger negative energy to them. And eventually, if it continues on, you could attract a demon as well. When a person is feeling desperate and feeling total despair and hopelessness, is surrounded by a lot of negative energy, and then that negative energy forms even more negative energy, then the problem is very bad, and unless it's recognized and helped, it could lead to some really bad things. And sometimes even once someone does recognize it, it might be just too late to help that person if there's a negative energy involved that's very powerful. A strong and powerful negative being or demonic presence can coax a person to do things that they might not ordinarily have done. Suicide is one of the biggest. So this young lady's family called me in to see if I could make communication with her after they realized that she was not at peace. The girl's name is Tiffany, and she was in her early 20s. That's really all that I'm at liberty to say. Tiffany was indeed still there around the parents, and she is definitely not at peace, and she said for herself that the demons had caused her to pass on. I did pick up Tiffany's presence, but not very strongly. I could tell that she was being hindered or blocked by giving me a more direct communication. She did make communication, but not the way I was kind of hoping she would. So I did do an EVP session and an ITC session, so I have some of that to share with you now.
Tiffany, are you still here? I know there's a girl, Tiffany, that used to live here. I think she died by overdose. Tell me how you died, Tiffany. Do you have a message for someone you love, Tiffany? Tiffany, if you're here, say your name.
So there's a couple things I wanted to point out about these EVPs. You did hear that she did confirm demons, and there was another person that was talking. It sounded very malevolent, very well could have been a demon. I think the most disturbing EVP was the one that was in that malevolent voice. When I asked Tiffany to say her name, they said, "Tiffany, night, night." And to me, that was sarcasm by an evil entity. And just a note about the last EVP that says, "Too late, you're going to die." Tiffany did address that when I was talking with her psychically. She said she was having second thoughts, and the entity told her, "Too late, you're going to die." So after the EVP session, I did an ITC session and asked Tiffany if she could make communication with me that way. I did get an ITC picture that says the word TIF, T-I-F, and it was confirmed by her father that that was her nickname. They all called her Tiff. So this is the ITC picture that I got that says her nickname, Tiff, TIF. And if you take notice, the I on the word is dotted in a round open circle, and this was confirmed by her dad that this is the way that she used to write her name. This video was made in hopes of trying to prevent the deaths of anyone in the future by suicide, knowing that even though you think that life is very difficult to handle right now and you don't think that there's any other way out but death, it really isn't just death and nothing. You're really setting yourself up for even more problems than you have now. Also, always be mindful of people around you. Always be kind and caring, because everyone has their own story. Everyone has their own problems and issues. A person who threatens suicide, maybe they are just reaching out for attention, but if they are, then they need to get that attention. Tiffany is still roaming around in a void of confusion and fright. So I am going to go back there and see if I can release her soul so that she can finally rest in peace. But I know that it's going to take quite some time because she has some very serious negative energy keeping her from doing that. I thank you so much for watching. This is Shar with PsychicMyst Paranormal Network.